back in 2004. A very close friend of mine was part of a senior citizens program in Greene, New York. People would call in that were elderly, they're handicapped, they just could not do the day-to-day things that we take for granted. This person got a phone call to clean off the roof because there was a foot of snow on it, and when it got warm, the water would melt into the home. Now you got rotting, you got mold, and this person was very elderly, widowed, and they couldn't find any help to assist this elderly woman. I volunteered to assist, and I got a couple guys together, and we went out on a cold January morning in upstate New York. Threw the ladders up, and we cleaned off the front, and then we went to the back. You could see where the snow had melted and the roof was exposed, and how the water was getting into the lady's home. We all looked at it and we said, not going up there. Because you could just see the moment you would put any weight on the roof, you would fall through. And by the grace of God, it was a wonder that she didn't have more damage that she did, because you could see that this had been evolving for years and she was not able, for whatever reason, to fix that problem. We'd been out there a good hour or so cleaning off the roof. I told them that I would go in and talk to the lady, and her name was Barb McLaren. So I walk in the back door. You can see in the kitchen where the water is coming in all over the back wall. There was mold. You could see the beginning stages of the rotting process that's taken place in someone's home. She emotionally started breaking down, and I was not equipped to deal with that. She was hoping that we could clean that part off because that's where the water was coming in, and I said, Barb, you really need to get a contractor out here in the spring. And she just poured her heart out in her situation, and she had not the physical means, the knowledge means, the financial means. She'd been stressing about this for a long time, obviously. I said, Barb, I'm not a contractor. I know a lot of people in this town, but maybe we can find some people and donate some materials, and we'll just patch it and we'll get you a couple more years or something like that. 4 months later, I had rallied up 103 people to come to her home. In 36 hours, we totally tore off the back porch where all the water was coming in and the roof. Built her a brand new enclosed porch, electricity, carpeting, paint. She did not have any sidewalks at all in her home, front and back. So I found a contractor in town to pour her brand new concrete sidewalks. Her driveway was a mess, ruts all over the place because it was a dirt driveway. So we regraded the driveway and we totally re-landscaped the property all in about 36 hours. We got done with the project. We're just sitting around chatting, eating sandwiches and chips and Kool-Aid and juice and all those good things. One of her neighbors had been watching across the street the whole time. I saw him out of the corner of my eye. He came out of his front door and he was walking across the street, and he says, I'm looking for Jim Willard. All my friends that are sitting there with me point the finger at me. He said, I wanted to talk to you because I've been watching you for the last 2 days and everybody that's here. You've restored my faith in community, in people, in God, and I thank you so much for everything you've done for Barb and everything that you're doing for the people that can see this on our street. After we all kind of processed that for a minute or so and went back to what we were doing, 3 or 4 of us got together at the end and said, wouldn't it be cool if we got together once a year? We're just church-going people, and we tried to get people in churches and businesses and community together once a year, and we helped somebody in the community. So we had this vision that we were going to get together and help somebody and try to make a difference in our community. Well, it turned out is that 4 months later, we were down the road about 3 miles doing the same thing with another 60, 70 people. From there, I sit here today, 12 years later, where almost 2,400 people have volunteered their time, and we have created a nonprofit organization called the Impact Project. We've assisted 82 families in 5 different counties, and we continue to move forward, and we're talking about expanding and building another facility. And if the next 10 to 12 years is no different going forward than the last 10 to 12 years, it's going to be a heck of a ride, because we've gone from doing 1 or 2 projects a year to now we're doing 6 to 12 a year. The story is evolving and at a very rapid pace. We're restoring lives. I mean, we're helping people that do not have the basic things that we take for granted every single day. And when you don't have heat, and when you don't have a solid roof over your head, and when you don't have water in your home, that's all you think about every single day. When you don't have heat and you're cold, you think about how to stay warm, and that's all you think about all day. And when you have water coming in your home from your roof, you're worrying about when it's going to collapse. And when you don't have water, you're thinking about how to get water. That's all you think about. So when you give these basic needs back to people that have not had them for a long period of time, it's extremely emotional. When you help an individual, man or woman that's in a wheelchair or a walker that cannot get out of their home because they don't have handicap accessibility and they've been in their home for 6 to 12 months and just cannot interact with people, the release that they have and just the joy that they can interact with people again is huge. What we've accomplished in the last 12 or 13 years has been priceless for the family and the volunteers and the communities that we help, let alone going forward to those that we're going to help. I believe there's an innate characteristic in every single one of us that wants to help people. That when you give and you see the result of that gift, especially to the magnitude of the service and what we do for people, helping them get back their lives, the task at hand and the gift is priceless, and you just look forward to the end in each one of these projects, and you hang your hat on the fact that I restored a person or a family's life. You look forward to see the embracing and love of the homeowner and the celebration to what has been accomplished in a short period of time by a ton of people, and the reaction to the homeowner and how their life has been turned around 180 degrees. With volunteers, they can't give you a week, they can't give you a month. The first thing that makes us extremely successful in our strategy and how we do it is that we bring masses of people together and the task at hand gets done quickly. Therefore, if you're a volunteer, you can come in, give the time that you can give, because there's a lot of people, many hands get a lot done. The need in the Southern Tier is quite honestly overwhelming. We first started this with Barb McLaren, and even at that point, when we didn't even have a nonprofit organization, we didn't even have an agency like we are today, all the volunteers, within 6 months, we had dozens and dozens of people calling my home, calling my cell, I need help. And now, today, over a decade later, we've had thousands. We're taking in 300 to 400 inquiries a year. We're on pace this year probably to take in close to 500 or 600 inquiries. The need is just overwhelming in the Southern Tier. We know that the economy has been challenged in this area for not just a year or two, for decades. We know that we've lost jobs and people and families have left the area. We know that there's a very large proportionate share of our population in Central New York and the Southern Tier that is over 55, and that they need the basic necessities. And then sometimes as difficult as life gets, we want to help each other. And I think that that is a thriving component in Central New York and the Southern Tier. As I sit here today, we're extremely excited. We're getting ready to build a second facility to branch out. As long as we continue to be true to our mission and we just continue to keep our heads down to the grindstone and just keep pushing forward without ever forgetting the true mission. You can get caught up in expansion. You can get caught up in, if you're blessed with a lot more resources, but never forgetting what it is that you're supposed to be doing, which is restoring families' lives. We stay true to that, I think that the sky is the limit. Never forgetting that, because that's where it started, that's what has got us to where we are today, and that's what's going to get us to where we got to be in the future. Community partners, community leaders, churches, business, agencies, people from all ages, young and old, male and female, doesn't matter. Let them embrace the concept of helping one another, and we'll just see where it goes from there. God planted a seed in the ground, and it's growing, and now it's got branches, many branches. It's got many leaves on top of it, and it continues to grow. The base gets bigger, it's blossoming. It's humbling and nerve-wracking and exciting to be part of something that you've seen and been a part of grow, and at the same time seeing the benefit. Nobody foresaw what it was in the beginning. Nobody knew whether it even grow. Nobody even know what it was going to evolve into. And now, even if this is where we are, we stay where we are right now, this tree has grown with a lot of branches. just really looking forward to what the future brings.